First of all, exhilaration. It's just a huge thrill, a huge adrenaline rush. Going at like 80 miles per hour on a corner, especially all-wheel drive on this car. Analyzing the turn coming up and how fast they're going on, thinking about how to brake enough to make the turn at the fastest speed and trying to hit that apex. Oh my God, it's like a feeling that you just can't comprehend until you experience it yourself. When I was a kid growing up, I was always into cars. I still have the very first Hot Wheels that my dad gave me. As I continued from a toddler into teens, that love for cars continued to grow. I had a bunch of just toy cars, Hot Wheels, model cars, remote control cars, radio control cars. At some point in time, I got my first plastic car model kit, and building that up from these individual plastic pieces, having to paint them and put them together, really got me interested in wanting to do this for a real car. Then as time continued to go on, Fast and Furious came out. For people of my generation, Fast and Furious was that movie which really solidified this love of cars. Seeing the process of modifying a car, seeing what you could do with a car, racing, drag racing, you know, it just ignited that fire even more. And luckily enough, my dad actually started me driving when I was in my single digits. After I graduated from college, I bought this WRX. This is a Xena. Xena is the car which I would say properly really started it all. Immediately I started modifying everything I could. Intake, exhaust, intercooler, ECU retuning, shifter, wheels, tires, and a bunch of reliability mods along with some aesthetic upgrades. And then I took it out into the track, had my very first track day. I had a bunch of fun, it was really awesome. I came back home and I analyzed the data and I realized, okay, wait, I find my temperatures are running a bit high. And I was like, all right, next step is to control temperatures. So I installed an upgraded radiator, oil cooler, and a couple other cooling reliability modifications. And then I went back out on track again. With these cooling upgrades, the car performed so much better. But after running it hard on track, I began to get brake fade and my brakes were smoking after every session. So next, I installed brake cooling ducts and braided brake lines. So the car was at a place where I really was happy with it. I went out on a couple of track days after that, and with each track day I went to, I improved my personal best. Subaru's all-wheel drive system is amazing. The grip you get, especially with these sticky tires, oh my God. Man, on the track, I could pass so much other cars, especially going around the corners, and I could keep some of these other even more powerful cars at bay. Being able to hold my skill as a driver, but then see what this car is capable of without being extremely powered. It was just amazing. I was having the time of my life. Everything was like going so well. There was nothing else that I thought I needed to at a point in time. You know how life is. Right after a high, there's some kind of a low. On the last track day, on the way home, Christmas tree dash lit up. Checked the intake, noticed that there was a leak in the turbo in the pipe. Fixed that, started up the car, went for a drive, everything seemed to be perfect. I still remember that last drive I took. The car just felt so much different. But man, I had so much fun that last drive. When I started the day afterwards, turned the car on and just a puff of white smoke came out. And then I was like, crap. But I opened the oil filler cap and saw those puffs of smoke. And I thought, well, this is either head gasket or piston rings. And as fate would have it, yep, cylinder 1 was failing and both leaked down on compression. Cylinder 2 was like right borderline. And that's where we are today. I have had so much fun with this car, and now I was in a position where the engine is gone. The cost to fix the engine, whether I go with a used engine or go with a fully built engine, can range anywhere between like $8,000 to $20,000. Neither of which really made too much sense. And I sat here for like 3 weeks trying to figure out what do I want to do with this car. And I swear to God, it was like going through a sort of a breakup, because the pain I felt in my heart about just simply thinking of having to sell the car just almost at times crippled me, made it almost difficult to breathe. And I realized that I couldn't just sell this car because so much of time, effort, money, but more so my soul went into this car. I built this car in sort of my own image, and I just couldn't part with it because it was my first sports car, the first car that I took to track. First car I took my wife on track with. First car that I learned everything that I know about cars on, really. And to have to part with it would feel like just parting with a loved one, and I just couldn't fathom having to do that at all. That's the thing people don't realize about cars and about car people and car enthusiasts, the joy which cars bring, the sort of emotions, the bond and connection that you develop with a car, especially when you start doing things to it yourself. And people mightn't understand it because this is something mechanical, it's not living, but I personally believe cars have souls. I believe that if you treat a car well, it treats you well. You take care of a car, it takes care of you back in these strange, unknown ways that you mightn't really realize. But throughout this entire process, there have been so much learnings and so much failures. But after you fail, there's only one way to go, and that way is up. The future is bright for this car. So the next step for this is just going to be something more awesome and more fun.